number on that. In terms of domestic security that you were suggesting there, Jane, what police forces around the country have agreed to do is look at large public events that have been planned for the next 7 days, such as music festivals or sporting events, and look at security procedures to ensure that they are adequate. Now, all 27 members of the European Union, including the United Kingdom, will be sitting around a table to discuss terrorism more broadly across the European Union. And of course, that will be the first time that Boris Johnson, as Foreign Secretary, has sat across the table with foreign ministers since his elevation to the office.
Well, there's still much more.
Robert, thanks very much. Well, let's remind ourselves what we do know about the attack and what happened here less than 24 hours ago. Authorities in Nice say that the attacker boarded the truck, not here in the city centre, but up in the hills outside the city, and travelled some distance to the coast. We believe he reached the crowded beachfront at around this point, with witnesses saying that he drove at speed for a mile along the Promenade des Anglais. Some of the first images of casualties to emerge were taken outside apartments around this location opposite Florida Beach. While the injured were treated at triage centres and makeshift hospitals which were set up on the beach, on the street and in hotels, including the Hotel Negresco. Footage shows the truck accelerating along the promenade outside the Westminster Hotel, and photos show dozens of bodies covered with blankets around this location. The truck finally coming to a stop outside the Hyatt Regency Hotel, which is around 150 metres from where I am standing. Well, Alistair Bunkle is in our Osterley studio at Sky News Centre for us. Alistair, we're starting to find out more details, aren't we, about the man that carried out these attacks. Tell us what we know.
Yeah, Jane, a couple of hours ago we had a name for the 31-year-old man, Mohamed Boula. He is of Tunisian descent but had joint French nationality. We heard from the Parisian prosecutor, this is the only image we have of him. We heard from the Parisian prosecutor that he was a delivery driver. He had children, although we don't know how many. His ex-wife has been arrested today by French police, obviously part of the ongoing investigation. And he had a criminal past for threats, violence, theft. In January of this year, he received a 6-month suspended sentence for violence. But we're told that despite that criminal background, he showed no signs of radicalization. He wasn't known to the intelligence agencies, and yet at some point he was radicalized. At some point he was persuaded to do what he did last night, and that will be part of the investigation. When was that? How was that? Why was that? And who else might have been involved? At the moment, it looks as though he was acting alone.
And Alistair, also more details inevitably emerging about the victims, about what some of them endured yesterday and their stories.
Well, we're hearing from people that you're speaking to, Jane, people that Sam has been speaking to at the hospital. Their memories of last night, a very frightening night down on the seafront in Nice. But we're also hearing about the people who died. 2 Americans we know have died, father and son. This has only come out in the last hour or so. Sean and Brody Copeland. We've got an image of young Brody, an 11-year-old boy, both of them from Texas. Here he is on the beach in the south of France.